The live breaking information I have at this moment is that Bihar's former Deputy Chief Minister, RJD leader Tejashwi Yadav is leaving the Enforcement Directorate at this moment. These are live pictures that you're seeing on your screen coming in from Patna. He was grilled all through the day today. For more than 9 hours, he's being grilled in Patna. His father, Lalu Yadav, was grilled yesterday. We have reporters on the ground. We'll try and go across to them in a moment and get you the latest images. This soon after Nitish Kumar did yet another U-turn, went and joined the NDA. The next day, Lalu Yadav was called in for questioning. Tejashwi Yadav called in for questioning. Remember, Tejashwi's defense really has been that he was 14 years old when this alleged scam took place. He didn't have information about what was going on. That, of course, is something that the Enforcement Directorate is not buying at all. Aditya Vaibhav joins us from the ED office in Patna, which is where Tejashwi Yadav is at this moment, coming out, surrounded by a group of RJD supporters. He's waving out, putting on a show of being brave. What do we know about what went down during the questioning, Aditya? Aditya? These are live images from the Enforcement Directorate office in Patna, where Lalu Yadav's son Tejashwi Yadav has just left moments before now. He was questioned all day long. We've got a list of 14 lines of questioning that were being presented by the ED to Tejashwi Yadav, and he was being asked to explain assets disproportionate to his known sources of income. Tejashwi, of course, waving his hands, pumping his fist, trying to make it seem as if this is a show of strength. And that's the message he's trying to send, that this is a case of central agencies acting in vendetta, that this is not a regular investigation, that this is a witch hunt. That's the message that Tejashwi and Lalu Yadav are trying to send to the voters of Bihar through these images, where they're trying to convey a sense of confidence that this is not something that is going to scare us. So those are the live images coming from Patna. We'll also keep a very close eye on what's happening in Jharkhand. And remember, in Jharkhand, Hemant Soren has finally surfaced for 40 hours after the ED team turned up at his residence. He'd actually gone missing. So he drove, apparently. His charter plane was in the Delhi airport. He drove apparently all the way from Delhi to Ranchi, where he arrived, went into a huddle with RJD, Congress, JMM, MLAs. They discussed amongst various things, making his wife the interim chief minister. Remember, he also has a brother. The brother would expect that he'd be made chief minister, but he seems to be leaning towards his wife. If it comes to that, if push comes to shove, make his wife the step-in chief minister, like Lalu Yadav did with Rabri when he was arrested in the disproportionate assets case. So Hemant trying something similar, again trying to convey the message that this is a case of political vendetta. It isn't a bona fide investigation. Take a look at this report.
Went missing for 41 hours. Jharkhand's Chief Minister made a dramatic appearance at his Ranchi home on Tuesday. Hemant Soren at the center of ED investigations. As his whereabouts remained unknown, the Enforcement Directorate seized 2 BMWs, 36 lakh in cash and documents during searches at Soren's official residence in New Delhi late Monday. The ED investigating at least 3 cases of money laundering. Investigators suspect his involvement in illegal mining and land deals.
The sources are saying at this point of time they have gathered huge amount of evidence against Hemant Soren in all 3 money laundering cases: the illegal mining case, the coal scam case, and the land scam case. But before making the arrest, ED sources claim that they want to give one more chance to Hemant Soren so that he can defend himself, and later on, after the questioning, they will decide whether to call Hemant Soren once again for questioning or whether he should be placed under arrest.
After his arrival in Ranchi, purportedly from Delhi, the Jharkhand CM met MLAs of the ruling alliance of JMM, Congress and the RJD. He also met his cabinet ministers. His wife Kalpana Soren, speculated to take over the chief minister's post, was also present. Security, meanwhile, tightened around the CM residence, the Raj Bhavan and the ED office in Ranchi. According to insiders, Every legislator of the ruling alliance has been asked to stay put in the national capital amid the current situation. His party alleged political witch hunt.
क्या उसका नियम था जो ईडी किया उस तरह जाने का है नियम? बताइए, आप लोग वो चीज तो बोलते नहीं हैं। जब तक 21 तारीख 29 से 31 का डेट दिया हुआ था तो कैसे चल गया वो चीज तो आप लोग बोलिएगा नहीं।
But Soren's opponents escalated their attack on the Chief Minister, citing his disappearance as the ED looked for him as part of investigations.
छुप के थोड़े जाएगा कोई मुख्यमंत्री भाई। अब मुख्यमंत्री छुप के जा रहा है, छुप के भाग रहा है, छुपे फिर रहा है, ये तो आश्चर्य है।
The ED believes it has a watertight case against the Jharkhand Chief Minister.
In all likelihood, when Hemant Soren faces the ED tomorrow, he will be asked about his alleged involvement in illegal land holdings. That is the land mafia case the ED is investigating, and alleged mismanagement of funds linked to the bank accounts that are linked to that of his wife. These are the possible questions that the ED will be posing him with, and it will be interesting to see that what is the ammunition that Hemant Soren has prepared this time. With video journalist Shailendra, this is Shreya Chatterjee for India Today.
Joining us to talk about the Enforcement Directorate investigation first are our colleagues. Munish Pandey is our lead correspondent tracking the investigative agencies in the national capital. Satyajit Kumar heads our Jharkhand bureau. I want to go across to Munish first. Munish, how much evidence does the Enforcement Directorate really have against Hemant Soren? The optics in this case against Hemant not looking good. A chief minister seeming to be running from the law, that never goes down well. He probably should have just come and taken the questions head on like Lalu and Tejashwi have in Bihar. But how strong, from an evidentiary perspective, is the ED's case against the Jharkhand Chief Minister?
Well, Rahul, as far as case against Hemant Soren is concerned, in all three cases, what ED sources claim that they have solid evidence against Hemant Soren. In the land scam case, there are statements recorded under Section 50 of Prevention of Money Laundering Act, in which the accused and witnesses have given Hemant Soren's name as beneficiary of proceeds of crime. Same is in the case of the illegal mining and the coal scam case. What ED claims that not only documentary evidence, not only there are transactions linked to close aid of Hemant Soren, but also there are Benami properties. And Rahul, it is very interesting to point out that not only ED, but recently there was searches conducted by the Income Tax Department and IT Department. In their investigation, they found that there are properties worth crores of rupees, which the ED claim is Benami property of Hemant Soren. So put it in a simple way, if Hemant Soren can be arrested or not, the ED sources are claiming that they have ample amount of evidence to place Hemant Soren under arrest. But according to procedure, he has to be questioned, he has to be given chance to clarify, defend himself. And if he is unable to satisfy the investigators, then only the ED will take call whether to arrest him or not.
Satyajit, Kalpana was in the meeting, Hemant Soren's wife. Is she going to be made the next Chief Minister? Satyajit? Satyajit? Okay, give me a moment. I'll try and set that connection right. And I'll just show you meanwhile what's been happening in Bihar. Another opposition leader, Deputy Chief Minister Tejashwi Yadav, has left the ED office after being questioned for around 9 hours. He's under the scanner for the land for job scam. RJD Supremo Lalu Yadav has also been questioned in this case yesterday. Here are the details of the investigation in Bihar.
Trouble for Lalu family mounts. A day after RJD chief Lalu Prasad was grilled for nearly 10 hours, the Enforcement Directorate on Tuesday questioned his son and former Deputy Chief Minister of Bihar, Tejashwi Yadav, in the land for job scam. The RJD is calling the ED probe political witch hunt by the BJP.
विपक्ष को तो ये मान लेना चाहिए कि उनको चुनाव भी लड़ना है और इन एजेंसी से भी संघर्ष करना है, लेकिन नतीजे अगर उलट आए ना तो जो लोग आज ईडी, आईटी, सीबीआई से ये करवा रहे हैं सबके सब जद में आएंगे.
Lalu's party also slammed Chief Minister Nitish Kumar for changing his stand on the issue.
माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी से आग्रह होगा कि आपने तो कहा था कि इसकी गलती नहीं है, इसको तो वो लोग फंसा दिया, तो जब वो लोग फंसा दिया तो सर आपसे आग्रह होगा कि कुछ बोलिए आज.
There's more trouble ahead for the Yadavs. Lalu's wife Rabdi Devi and their two daughters Hemant Yadav and Misa Bharti have been asked to appear before a Delhi court on February 9th. The Congress has rallied behind their ally.
जब जब सत्ता का परिवर्तन उन्हें करना होता है तब तब वो ईडी का, सीबीआई का, सीडी का बेजा इस्तेमाल करते हैं. वो कोई नई बात नहीं है. लालू जी को सिर्फ इसलिए परेशान किया जा रहा है, उनके परिवार को इसलिए परेशान किया जा रहा है कि बीजेपी की वॉशिंग मशीन में धुलने के लिए तैयार नहीं.
The BJP's hailed ED action as a crackdown on corruption.
नौकरी के बदले जमीन लेने के ऐसे काम, गरीबों का शोषण इन्होंने किया है. गरीबों के नेता बनने के नाम पर किसी से जमीन लिया, किसी से रिश्वत ली, किसी से कैसे कैसे लोगों ने तो जांच का सामना कर रहे हैं. ईडी एक स्वतंत्र एजेंसी है, उसका जवाब दे. कानून अपना काम करेगा. मोदी जी के जमाने में भ्रष्टाचार पर जीरो टॉलरेंस.
Corruption investigations against opposition leaders are gathering pace in election year. The question now is whether any of them will be arrested in the run-up to the general elections. Bureau Report, India Today.
Satyajit Kumar is now through with us from Ranchi in Jharkhand. We saw that the wife of Hemant Soren, Kalpana, was at that meeting. How serious is the plan to install her as Chief Minister? And what about Hemant's brother? Given the fact that he's also in active politics, I'd assume he'd imagine that he'd be in the running if there was to be a change in the Chief Minister's chair.
Rahul, Kalpana Soren appeared for the first time in the ruling alliance MLA's legislature party meeting and dropped a clear and strong indication that he could be the natural choice of ruling alliance if the situation arises and if Hemant Soren is forced to step down amid the criminal investigation going on by ED. In that case, Kalpana Soren is going to be the natural choice. And we have seen in the past also in Jharkhand that the regional parties has a psyche to retain the power in their hands. They don't want to transfer the power. They want to keep the helms of affairs in their hands, to keep the reins, the power of the reins in their hands. In 2009, we have seen when Shibu Soren, the JMM Supremo, had lost the by-elections. He, despite the majority with UPA, none of the name was proposed for the transfer of power, and ultimately President rule has to be imposed, and after an year there was an assembly election in Jharkhand. So it's all set, and the information that is coming from inside, the insiders who are considered to be in proximity to CM Hemant Soren have said that a non-MLA is going to be the Chief Minister of Jharkhand if the situation arises, and in that case Kalpana Soren could be the natural choice. And that is why the situation, how to respond the situation, the meeting has been convened inside the CM house, you can see, and ruling alliance MLAs have been called, and they were asked to come with bag and baggage, that if they are apprehensive of any trouble, there could be a transfer of power, and after that they can stake the claim also. They can go to the Raj Bhavan, they can stake the claim, the incumbent could step down, and after that they could convene the assembly session also for the floor test, and after that the government will be safe. Once they pass the floor test, the government will be safe for the further 6 months, and by that time you can see the Lok Sabha polls will arrive. This is the plan of ruling alliance in Jharkhand, and they are contemplating the situation, apprehending the situation. If there is any stringent action from ED side, or if they apprehend of any extreme action from ED, they have a plan, and that is why the MLAs have been called. they'll get the signatures, and they are preparing for the worst.